Hi, everybody. Welcome to, we are going to be talking about Virtuoso You with Mike Rayburn. And on my screen, he's in that direction, but for you, it might be somewhere else. And Darren LaCroix, which is down there on that screen. It's the story of three people. Anyway, Darren, we don't have sound. So unplug your headphones, Darren, and it might just work through the sound on your computer a bit better. Okay. Anyway, so Virtuoso You. I'm not going to take much time explaining this because I have two guys that are here to explain to you what this experience in Las Vegas is going to be all about. Mike Rayburn, who is also my awesome husband. He and Darren.
Tara Rayburn, Mike Rayburn.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. We're good at this, huh? And he is going to be sharing with you what exactly it means to be a virtuoso. What does it mean to master what matters? And what we are going to be doing here in November on the 6th and 7th in Las Vegas. So on that note, Michael, you take it away.
Yay, cool. Virtuoso, master what matters. A virtuoso in the music world, which is, of course, my background because I play guitar and I've played all my life. A virtuoso is someone of an extreme level of skill, someone who wakes up in the morning making the choice for excellence. So often, it's not even a choice anymore. It's just who you are, right? And so I was teaching, very few people ever make the choice to become a virtuoso, to resolve to be their personal best at the things they do. Instead, they rise to a level of acceptability, competence, mediocrity, okay? So the idea is when you make the choice, hey, I'm going to become the best at what I do. I'm going to my personal best, not compared to anyone else, but I'm going to become my personal best at what I do. Everything gets better. It makes decisions for you. You realize, hey, when some choice comes up, if this is what's going to make me better, this is what I'm going to do, okay? There's no more of this question like, how should I do this or not? Is it a waste of time? Whatever. If it's going to make you better, you choose it. So I taught this tool for years. And then a huge incongruity hit me. Who am I to teach making this choice to become a virtuoso about career, but not apply it to the things that I value more highly than my career? Like, for instance, I mean, some of us may have different ideas, but I think we can all agree on family is usually more important than career, right? So what would it take for me to become a virtuoso husband? What would it take for me? Yeah. What would it take for me to become a virtuoso parent? I mean, I love my parents, but most of our parents are the reason that psychotherapists have a job. Okay. So, so with the idea that people who become world-class at anything don't just become world-class and everything else is in shambles. They become world-class human beings. And so the idea is to become a master of the things that matter in life. Becoming a virtuoso, becoming a life virtuoso, as I like to say it, is not about trying to be good at everything. It's not. I am not a type A overachiever at all. It's about being great at the most important things, which we each have to choose for ourselves what those are. But making the choice that, hey, being a parent, for me, my faith, being a parent, my health, my career, and my recreation, my adventure, those are important. So those, I want to be the best I can be at that. The other things, I'll be, I can stand to lose at Monopoly. I can stand to lose at chess because I don't care, okay? I can have fun with that. But I don't want to lose at being Tara's husband. I don't want to lose at being a parent. I don't want to lose at my career, okay? I certainly don't want to lose at my faith. And so what we're going to do in Virtuoso is look at those things. Each of us will choose what our values are. We're going to go through, we've got a process for looking at the different values and saying, hey, this is who I am. And then we're going to give personal mission statement. Most of us have limiting beliefs. I used to think, my dad, you can't make a living at that. It's like, if I had listened to that, I don't know where I'd be now. Okay. So we're going to go through a process of eliminating limiting beliefs. And then we'll move on from there. I'm talking a lot right now. So I want to bring what I've done here in putting this program together. Again, I will get more in depth on it in a little bit, but I taught this for 4 years. And I've taught the tools for 15 years, but I've taught this specific virtuoso process, life virtuoso process for 4 years. And we've just had these amazing results from people who've, gone from an unemployed piano player to studying at the highest levels of Juilliard. An acrobat who didn't know what was next, who's now in Ghostbusters remake, Furious 7, Hangover 3 as a stunt artist. People who have built entrepreneurial businesses much better. And so Darren is on this. You guys see Darren down there.
Darren, do we have audio on you?
We do. Thank you.
All right. Good deal.
My bad. I got to be a virtuoso blabber.
Hey, this is how it starts. You jump in and do it. And I know I've been bugging you guys to do it, so I really appreciate this. I know everybody else will too, because this is a great way. And we also have an open seat. For me, it's down there. I don't know about you guys, but if someone has a question specifically for these guys on what it means to be a virtuoso or the event itself, please, type it in the comment section, and we'll try to get you in. So, Darren.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Glad to be here. Glad to be live.
Let me give a little intro for Darren. I partnered with Darren on this because a couple of reasons. Number one, another way to look at Virtuoso is how to become world class. This is not how to get started. This is how to take it to world class. And there are specific practices, traits, habits, thoughts, processes that people who are world class do that others don't. And I've spent a lot of time identifying those and practicing them. Well, Darren and I became friends about 6 years ago. Darren is a world champion. I'm going to sing your praises here, buddy. A world champion Toastmaster. Okay? He competed against 25,000 other people across the world and won. Okay? So he gets this. But what people don't necessarily know is that Darren is also world class when it comes to teaching, when it comes to creating the experiences that help us internalize the things that I'm talking about right now. So, and he's experienced the class as well. I've watched him just become world class in all these different things. His career and life has raised in a lot of different ways. And so he and I decided to partner together on this event. And so we're teaching together. So, Darren McCroy.
Hey, thanks, Mike. And when I was fortunate enough to be in Toastmasters, and 14,000 people compete every year, and I had never won anything in my life. So when I started winning a couple rounds of the 6 rounds, I decided, hey, what's this coach thing like? And I decided to get a coach. In fact, it changed the way I look. And I realized, I thought I'm a student. And I really wasn't. I really wasn't a virtuoso student until all of a sudden a lot more was at stake. So I got the coach. He started working with me, and I wasn't coachable. And one of my thoughts for everyone, if you want to be a virtuoso, if you're not coachable, there is no cure. I can't help you. Mike can't help you. Tara can't help you unless you're truly open. Because if what you're doing is working, you don't need us. If you want to get to another level, you definitely need virtuoso learning. And that's the lesson that I learned along my path. I got a second coach at the highest level, and he made me look at speaking in a way I had never perceived it before. So virtuoso have a different perspective. And that's why I needed from my coach, Mark Brown. And Mark really showed me what it was to be world class. I had no idea. I thought that if I had a tweak here and there, I'd be okay. It's a whole different level of thinking. So I went to Mike's class when I first took it, and man, did it change how I looked at things. And Mike, I'll just let you know, I'm revisiting some things that worked back in 2001, and I need to start reapplying them again because I stopped doing them. So I need to re-engage.
Isn't that funny how we do that? We find something that works really well, we keep doing it, so we think we don't need to do it anymore.
Yep.
That's true. And you know what? It's interesting because there's some of the, to give you an idea, there are certain, you mentioned some things like being coachable, becoming a virtuoso learner. Learning and practicing are very similar. One of the things we teach in here is I think most people realize they need to practice. And I'm not, back up, this is for any field. This is not for the arts. It's not just for speaking. It's not for, performance or whatever. It's for sales. It's for leadership. It's for teaching. It's for financial planners. I speak for a lot of financial planners. It's for people in healthcare. It's for people who just want to get better at what they do. Okay. So for instance, practicing. Most people say, oh, I know you need to practice. Very few people realize that it's how you practice that makes a difference. I could pick up a guitar, for 10 hours a day for the next 10 years and not get all that much better. Or if I practice correctly, I can pick up a guitar for 2 hours a day for the next 2 years and get a lot better because I practiced correctly. So what we want to do is show you how to rehearse. Virtuoso performers start as virtuoso practicers. Okay, that's just one simple point that we're going to teach. Another point. Go ahead.
Mike, before you go to the next one, just to reinforce that from a little different angle, but the same idea is the fact that people who in the speaking world who want to be better speakers know I'm known for stage time, stage time, stage time. It's a good perspective. However, if you do the same things over and over again, you can actually reinforce bad habits, which take more power and more stress and emphasis to unlearn it than it is to learn how to practice right the first place.
Yes.
That's true in everything, and including health, with exercise. I see people, and it's so hard not to go up to them at the gym, who are doing something and they're doing really poor technique. They're hurting their body more than helping it. They're building muscles actually in the wrong direction because of their technique. And so, these principles do apply. It's not just an elitist thing for musicians. Being a virtuoso is, like Michael said, all areas, all aspects of life.
Yeah, and there's one of the ways I teach this. I learned this from a brilliant cello instructor in New York, and the way he said, his name is Benjamin Wolf, and he's a speaker in creativity, and so I want to give him credit on this. And I've kind of run with the idea, but he said, okay, it's one thing we know that we learn from mistakes. Mistakes are not bad. We want to get a good association with mistakes because we correct them. However, if you repeat a mistake, you are practicing to make that mistake. Practicing. If I repeat a mistake on the guitar, I'm practicing to do the same thing on stage. If you make a mistake in a sales call, for instance, say you're in sales, you make a mistake in a sales call. Okay, you learn from that mistake. You don't make it again. If you keep making it, then you're going to start making it every sales call, right? So what we want to do is go through in Virtuoso. We're going to identify the principles behind good rehearsal, good practice, effective, and practicing in ways that can grow your abilities faster than others, than if you didn't know them. One example. And there are many. I'm just kind of sharing, ones here and there.
I want to take a moment for a little what I call blab etiquette, because a lot of people are new to blab and they don't know what to do. And I want to welcome, we've got a lot of folks joining us, and there's a comment section. If you're on a mobile device, it's a little tricky to scroll through the comment section, but you can, and you can also hit a button to see nothing but the comments or to write your comment. And there's also if you're on your computer, there's a tell a little bird little button. And Darren, Michael, you guys can hit that button and tweet out right now that we're live. And if you guys also, this is being recorded. So later on, we will tweet out the replay link might be the same or it might be a little different, but we'll retweet the replay link. And like Periscope has hearts, Blab, if you look down in your little corner right here, you see two little hands. Blab gives props. So if you like what somebody's saying, like Mike Rayburn's background, I like it. So I'm giving him props right there. Same with Darren. Darren got his audio deal fixed.
Yay.
It's just a nice little way to let people know you're enjoying the content, because we don't want to waste your time. We're not here. I mean, Blab is not necessarily meaning saying nothing. It's just a great tool for sharing really cool information. So that you can also follow each other. Come over here, either across the top. You can click on each of the person. I see Rue Elmore, and you can follow them directly on Twitter or on Blab. So it's a really neat community builder. And that's what I like about this. I think Periscope is fabulous, and it's not Blab instead of Periscope, but to have a tool like this where we can be a virtuoso community, to truly be a virtuoso community is really, really cool. So enough of the Blab etiquette. Would either of you guys like to kind of share the flow of this event that we're going to be having in November, how it's going to look, unpack it a little bit for everybody?
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, I'll jump in and you interrupt me where you need to.
Okay.
That's fine etiquette as far as I'm concerned. It breaks down into 4 sections. Okay. Becoming a virtuoso starts with building a foundation. So we want to build your foundation. we're going to get rid of the limiting beliefs that you have. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I'm too smart. I'm too dumb. I'm too ugly. I'm too pretty. Whatever it is. Okay. We've all got this crap.
Do I have to let go of the too pretty thing? Really?
I don't know. I've never had that problem.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going opposites, and I don't know. Is it too pretty? Well, there is such a thing, I guess. But anyway.
You know what? I actually have the power here because I'm the host. I can kick anybody off the seat. So if you guys get too unruly, I can kick it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I'll go get more coffee.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I love this. So we're going to start by building your foundation. Eliminate the limiting beliefs. We're going to choose your values. Most people will say, well, I value family. I value my career. I value integrity. I value work ethic and things like that. But rarely have they chosen who they are and those values and put them in order. I can tell you, for instance, I've chosen 5. There's no right. By the way, there are no right or wrongs at Virtuoso. There's no you can't do this. What there is better, good, better, and best, as Tara always teaches with health. And there's also, it's your choice versus my choice. And neither of those is going to be wrong. It just doesn't work that way. My choice for values, I happen to have chosen 5. And I rank them in this order: faith, family, health, career, and adventure or recreation. It was adventure before I had kids. Now I realize I need to stay alive, so it's more recreation.
Oh, it's a bigger adventure with kids, I'll say.
Oh, yeah. It's like, am I going to run the Class 6 Rapid? Well, I did that before we had kids. Now I don't. So anyway, so we're going to choose and rank those. And those will come into play later on when we start talking about time management, because that's how people who are truly effective base their time on their values. Values, priorities, actions is in that order. So anyway, and we're also going to write a personal mission statement. If you already have a mission statement, we're going to relook at it. If you don't, we're going to write one. Why are you here? What's your purpose? What do you want to get out of this life? That's the first section, is build your foundation. That'll be the beginning in the morning. The second section is we're going to choose your direction. I have a goal exploration process, and part of it involves some pre-work. Once you register or enroll for Virtuoso, a few weeks before, I'm going to send you a series of questions that I want you to answer that are going to walk you through things that we will apply later. But I want to get you thinking that way before we get there so that you hit the ground running. But they have to do with setting goals, choosing goals based on your passions and your gifts. Okay. And we're going to set those goals in different areas of life. One of the things that we're going to do that most people don't do, and I say this because I've gone to Brian Tracy conferences, I've gone to Tony Robbins things, I've gone to countless personal development gurus or people who know what they're doing, and they always set goals because it's powerful. I've never been to one where they actually came out with a plan to achieve that goal. What's it going to take? Okay, I have a goal to raise my income from $50,000 a year to $100,000 a year. Okay, well, that's a great goal. How are you going to do it? Well, what if we have people brainstorm? Go ahead, Darren.
Mike, let me just jump in and reinforce that point. What I love about doing this as a live event for 2 days, a lot of people get these home study courses, and there's nothing wrong with them. Thank God for Brian Tracy and people like him. Yeah. However, to be able to sit in a room and really step back and look at your life and rearrange it and prioritize it with us. You know, we have some areas of our lives that we've accomplished some things, but we also have areas that we have new goals and bigger aspirations. And I thank God for Mike, or I wouldn't be going for my next dream. But my point is that when you're sitting in a room with us, with your fellow Virtuoso you people, you're going to move ahead faster. You're going to rethink. And it's about taking time for you for 2 days to focus, for you to focus on you. And I really think that's part of the power. It's you don't just leave with a long list of to-dos. We're going to do them right there. So they're to-dones.
That's the experiential part of it. And for those who sign up as VIPs, we're going to actually do the plan as a group for your goal. So you'll have however many people are there brainstorming for you. Okay, so yours will be the example that we use in front of everyone in a positive way, a reinforcing, uplifting way to walk through and say, okay, you want to increase your income by 100% by next year. How are you going to do that? And people are going to brainstorm and say, oh, I know. If you do this, why don't you try that? Wouldn't it be cool to have your own brain trust brainstorming for you? Then, of course, now if you're not in the VIP section, that's fine. We're going to break off into groups and still do something like that. So you will get that benefit as well. And as Darren pointed out, you'll have us there to answer questions. A lot of times people will get a home kind of course, or they'll get an idea, or they'll read a book, and they'll start working it, and they'll have a question. It's a question that's holding them up. And then the phone rings, or a text comes in, or an email, and they get distracted and they don't do it, instead of asking that question and being able to answer it and move on. So we're there to kind of facilitate, as Darren has made the point, and now I'm so passionate about, this is going to be experiential. It's not just an information dump, okay? Yes, you'll have great information and stuff to apply for years, but it's going to be, you're going to actually experience these things. So let me go on from the plan. Go ahead, Tara.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I was going to share a little bit about Virtuoso Health, but you let me know when the best time to, because it ties in with all that too, obviously. But you do your pace, do your thing.
Okay, so that's choosing your directions. We're going to set some goals that push you, that move you forward in the direction that you really want to go. So the third part, so we got the first part, build your foundation. Second part, choose your direction. The third part is give you the means. You need to have the means to make these things happen. And a lot of people don't address that as well. The three areas that I want to talk about means are having the time. I have a time management process that I've honed from different places I've learned, experiences, trial and error, which works. I continue to tweak it even today. I'm still working it. So anyway, I think Darren and I will be able to give you an extra 1 to 3 hours a day if you will practice the things that we teach at Virtuoso. That's one area. The other area, and this is where Tara's coming in, is we're bringing in the big guns. That's Tara. She's the one who, you got to have the health. None of this now. If you're not healthy, if you don't feel like your weight is right, if you don't feel like that you have the energy, if you don't feel like you have the strength to do these things. And so we want to give you the health. So that's where I'm going to bring Tara in rather than someone like me to teach it, because I learned it from her.
Yeah, but you are an excellent practitioner of it. You know, you've taken concepts and really flown with them. So I'll give you some props on that. Yeah, Virtuoso Health. You know, I deal with so many people. I go by the moniker, the Healthy Habit Coach. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, but what I am is someone who is passionate about sharing like old wisdom, but that still applies. It's not a fad. It's not something that's going to change tomorrow. It's not a supplement you have to go buy. It's concepts. What does it mean to have Virtuoso Health? Well, if you have all the money in the world, like, you know, Michael was saying, if you have, or if you don't, and that's stressing you out, health is a key portion there, because you can't work if you're not healthy. You can't, if you don't have energy, and if you don't have proper brain function, you can't really think beyond outside the box. So my goal is to share with you at Virtuoso, that's fun to say, is to share those tried and true real concepts that they've practiced for just, I mean, for the world, a lot of the world still practices, but they're losing these concepts. I guarantee you're going to walk away with at the least 3. I know myself, you're going to have more than 3, but at least 3 principles, healthy habits to practice that will change your life. And I don't say that in a hokey way. I don't sell that to sell you some big thing. I've got books. Yeah, that's great. What I want to do is make you a person to support you being a clean, clear channel, so you know what your purpose is, what you've been put here to do, and that you know what it is, and then you have the energy to actually go out and do it. And, you know, and that's what it's about, because goal setting and creativity is fabulous, but you want to be able to implement those things that come to you. And you also want to be able to, when you're in that place of feeling clear, clean and clear and healthy and energetic, it is amazing the thoughts that start just flowing into you and the things that start coming out of you, because it's like a well-oiled machine, so to speak.
Yep. That's great. That's great. And and my health is based on the things that she's learned. And I'm the skeptic. I'm the one who goes, oh, okay, this is nuts. Why are we doing this? And then I go, oh, that's why. And things work. And so I've been the guinea pig. So we tested all, and they seem to work. And so, no, we know they work. And so that's what Tara's going to teach. And that's exciting to have someone who's an expert do it, rather than me just kind of regurgitate something that I've read, you know? So means will be your time, your health, and finances. We're going to look at finances. We're not going to go deeply into like a financial plan for your life. But for instance, you can't do any of these things. If you have debt, I can tell you your first financial goal, period. Get out of debt. All right. People don't do that. People think that they can handle all these credit card bills and car payments and student loans and all this stuff. And you can't do it. Right, Darren?
Nope.
We've all had to do that. We've all had to look at things because our society teaches to be in debt. It has us all worshiping at the altar of our credit score. Well, you know what? It was power for me based on what we're going to teach in Virtuoso. When the HOA felt like I owed some fine or something like that. And
You're going to get us in trouble. I said, you're going to get us in trouble.
No, we're not. When they said, they threatened something to me, and they said, well, we're going to hurt your credit score. And I said, go ahead. I don't care. I don't borrow money. What do? They didn't know what to do with it. Here's at the same altar of the credit score. So anyway, we're going to show you how to do that. Basic financial principles that are just going to work. So now we got 3 sections. That's build your foundation, choose your direction, create the means. Number 4, we're going to go world class. We're going to take it over the top. This is I'm excited about because these are the things that get me excited. These are the things that I study daily. I try to look for the thoughts that other people haven't thunk. The ideas that things that I notice that people who are world class practice that others don't, or things that, I don't mean this to sound proud, but that I've practiced that have worked to get to Carnegie Hall and to win some of the awards and things, Hall of Fame and speaking, things that I've practiced and watched others do that work to cut through some of the fallacies. For instance, another idea. We hear things like, okay, Richard Branson, Henry Ford, Abe Lincoln, Thomas Edison, all these people have something in common. They never went to college, right? So the idea is, to be a successful entrepreneur, I need to not go to college. That's wrong thinking, okay? What if they did it in spite of the fact, but it was harder because they didn't go to college, right? So we need to be able to cut through that thinking and look for, what are the real principles that work instead of just the ones where people have skipped and made a fallacy in their thinking, a wrong thinking, a jump that is not correct. We're going to do things like looking at, here's one of the fun experiential things. Darren and I are in a mastermind group. Mastermind groups, I account for the quintupling of my income to mastermind groups. Groups where I've sat with people and 3 to 5 people who've got my back, who do what I do or have some kind of common denominator, and I bring questions and they brainstorm for me. And they bring questions and we brainstorm for them. And people have heard of mastermind groups, some have, but most have never participated. We're going to actually put you in a mastermind group just for the time that Virtuoso You, and you're going to participate in it. Other things, quickly, I know we're almost done.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We have 1 minute technically, but this is our show. We can do this as we want. We can continue, although I know that you have an appointment pretty soon. So if you want to go an extra 5 minutes, because I would like each of you to be able to give contact information. And if somebody had a question, I would love to have somebody hop on for a question. So do you guys want to go a little bit over? Yes, no, maybe? Hello? Cannot do it?
I'm game.
You're game?
I'm game. I'm here.
Okay. And I'll watch the clock. So we'll maybe shoot for maybe another 10 minutes. But why don't you go ahead and give your contact information? I already put it in the comment section, but in case somebody has to leave, because we were only going to do this for 30 minutes, why don't you go ahead and give that contact information for the event as well as your own websites?
Right. Well, the phone number, you can call to have, if you have other questions about this, if you have, that's upside down, Tara.
Oh. I love live broadcasting. It's so much fun.
The phone number to call is for questions and to enroll is 702-724-1864. And that you say, hey, that's not an 800 number. You're right. 702-724. Maybe we should write it down here. 702-7.
I can put it in the comment section. I'm good.
I was going to do that. 1864. Now, when you call that number, you're not calling a call center. You're not calling salespeople. You are calling my assistant, Mary. She's in the next room.
She's awesome. You should get Mary to come out and say hello.
Mary, you want to come out and say hello? You got to see my cool place here anyway.
It's the creative.
Hey, Mary.
She's going to love you. I'll put the website here.
Oh my gosh, look at my desk.
Hey, Mary.
Hey, Mary.
So when you call 702-724-1864, you're talking to Mary. And Mary will answer any of the questions that you have about enrolling, about the program itself. And like I said, it's not a call center. It's my lovely, wonderful, amazing assistant.
Thank you for calling Mike Rayburn's office. How may I
Oh,
help you?
gosh, don't say Mike.
All right. And if you haven't figured out, an underlying theme to all of this is Tara, Mike, and me, we're going to have fun.
Yes.
You're going to have fun at the event.
Oh,
it's
it will
not
be
gonna,
fun.
Yeah.
Not sitting like a lump the whole time.
I think they're getting the sense of that, but I just want to reassure that, look, if it isn't fun, we wouldn't want to do it either. Yeah. So we make it fun.
With somebody who has that in his creative space. That's easy with the lights on it and that kind of a picture.
And they'll always be Mary comedy too.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Mary will be. Oh, absolutely. So call that number and talk to Mary. Or you can go to the website, and that's virtuosou.com. And so we can write it if someone wants to.
It's already in. I've already got it there.
Yep.
We wrote that link up there.
Yep.
Go there. It explains a lot more in depth about what we're going to teach, what we're going to share, the experiences. And, I think it would probably be appropriate. Two things. Number one, if you're with a corporation or an association or a group who wants to send a group of people, call us and talk to us, and we can figure out if there's we can work out a discount for a group kind of a rate. And we can also explain how this works as professional development. I had, I won't say the name of it, but a major hospital here express an interest. And they really expressed an interest when I started talking about the productivity side of it, the time management and those kind of things. All of these boil down to getting the most out of your time in one way or another. So it's really effective. That's one point I wanted to make. And then I think the other one that Darren and I can both speak to, and Tara will be on board with, is that this is open to absolutely anyone of any faith, any background, any non-faith, any question faith, any whatever background. But I do mention God. And I don't apologize for that. I'm going to mention just because I don't see how you can be successful, creative, and a virtuoso performer without going to the author of creativity and the original virtuoso. I don't see it. I'm not preaching anything, but I just reference it because it makes some sense. And especially if you are someone of faith, then you want God to be a part of your goal setting, right? You want that strength. And so it's a part of what we're doing. This is not preaching anything. There's no prerequisite or anything like that. It's just something that I do. And because it's personal to me, I'm letting you know.
And that's it. That's a key thing here. There are a lot of experiences that people are offering. And I think a lot of times to make it open and friendly, they will leave the God portion out, or they'll keep it very vague. And the good thing is the three of us are very accustomed to be in situations where there are many, many, many people of faith or people of not faith, that are not practicing. In fact, our church, vivalaverve.org, Verve here, same thing. There's people that have never once been into church there, and there's people that never thought they'd ever go back to church. And I say that because while, yes, we are each passionate about our faith, we're not here to blame you, convert you. We are here to love and share information and help you be the best person you can be on this planet in any way we can support you.
Yeah, one way I'll say it is this: if you have a different faith, or you don't think you're an atheist, or whatever, you'll attend this program. You'll learn great things and you'll apply them, and it'll be really beneficial for you. It will still work. For instance, the biblical concept of tithing, donating 10% of your first fruits of what you do, works. It works for people who don't believe in God. It still works. Okay, it's a principle that people practice, and I've heard from non-Christians, from atheists, from others say, no, you need to do this because it actually works. Giving 10%, it teaches you that there's abundance. It teaches you that there's more in life. It helps others out. There's just a spiritual principle that works there. So does that make sense?
Yeah. Ferguson just said reciprocity, and
yes.
Could be categorized that way as well. And I just want to pipe in too that this is one of the reasons I'm even more excited about doing this event, is that we can be perfectly open. We can say everything we feel and think. And what I love about Mike and Tara is they're non-judgmental, and that's what helped me to even be more that way when I came to know them. So again, we're not here to judge. We're here to love you no matter what your thoughts or feelings are. But at the same time, we're going to open all the way up and tell you, where these ideas come from, how they work, and how they're part of not only our lives, but being a virtuoso in our specific industries and expertise field. Expertise field? I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Hey, I just want to let you.
Field of expertise.
That's it. I want to let you guys know I went ahead and invited Fergus to join us in the seat. And in the meantime, I want to talk a little bit about the location, because Lake Las Vegas is not your typical Vegas location. Hi, Fergus. Darren's going to share a little bit with us, and then we'll let you jump in. But Darren, if you could talk a little bit about where we're having this, because it's unique. It's very unique.
Yeah.
Wait, Fergus, you might need to turn. We've got some feedback. Am I the only one that hears it?
I hear it too.
Okay. So if you have headphones, it works great. If not, we end up hearing your audio.
The audio loop. So
okay. So Darren, share that with us.
We're having this at Lake Las Vegas, which is 25 minutes away from the Strip. And what I love about this, it's a perfect backdrop to focus. It's right on a beautiful lake. There's a little beach that's part of the hotel, a private little beach, but it gives you a place to reflect. And I learned from Patricia Fripp that true learning happens in moments of reflection. So we're going to take the time and let you have the time to sit and think and absorb and reflect, because that's where change really happens. Also want to remind people that this event is happening November 5th and 6th. But if you join us,
6th and 7th. 6th
and 7th, November 6th and 7th. Thank you. If you decide to join us before October 5th, you get a huge discount. Thank you, Tara. You get a huge discount. You can come. You can check that out online. But before October 5th, you get the early bird discount. Also, wanted to let people know, Mike, I don't know if you saw, we just had another registrant come in this morning. We have 6 VIP seats, but we only have 4 left. We had 2 signups last night. If you want that personal attention, the personal coaching, and masterminding with us for you, 4 of those seats left. And we're cutting that off because we can only do so much for so many people.
And keep it quality. Yeah, keep it quality.
Absolutely. So,
okay, I'd like, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Cool.
I was going to go ahead and just welcome Fergus. He joined. Darren, did you have another point that you wanted to add before we find out what Fergus has to share?
If you want to see a little bit more about the actual site, if you go to our website, there's a fun little video about the property that'll probably crack you up, but you'll see how cool it really is.
Okay, is that what's the do you have the website?
It's right on the page, Virtuoso U page.
Okay. All right. So I'll see if I can find that exact one and post it. So thank you, Darren. That's cool. Fergus, hi. Welcome.
Hey, Fergus.
Hi, Tara. Hi. Can everybody hear me okay?
We can hear you great. Where are you from? Where you live?
Definitely Alabama,
England.
Are you in London now or from or both?
Yes.
Okay.
Both.
Okay, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome. I love this format. This is why I like this. Every time I've done a blab, we've had somebody from another part of the world, and I just think it's so cool. So welcome. You're a speaker. I saw in your profile.
Yes, I am. I know Darren because I invited him to come and speak at the Professional Speaking Association in London. And at first the board said no, and then in the end they said yes, and they loved him, of course,
good.
all his promo films and everything.
Thank you.
I've seen Mike, and I met you, Tara, as well, when you spoke at the convention a few years ago, Mike. Well, spoke and played. And I would say to anyone who's thinking of coming to your event, you've got some serious people there who are going to give you some fantastic stuff. If I wasn't in London, I would be there. Believe me, I would definitely be there. And it would be a very good value event for everyone. I'm going to plug in an external microphone now, just to make it a bit more fun.
Sure.
because I'm Mr. Techno, as you know.
I wish I had his man.
Okay. So now I've got headphones and an external mic, so that should work.
Much better. Very good. Very good.
Okay, good. It's my Rode NT USB, which I love to bits. all you have to do is plug it in. Okay, so if people haven't seen Darren, and they haven't seen Mike, and they haven't seen Tara, they need to look on YouTube, really, and then say, oh my God, I've got to book to go. Because
we are not paying this man. We are not paying him anything. He just showed up in our blab.
What I'm talking about is 3 really top quality presenter speakers. Whatever you're doing, it'll be good. I know, because I've seen you all. And I've talked with you for ages, Tara, and I watched Mike do an incredible presentation. And I've watched so many films of Darren, right back to his first ones, his total disaster ones. Oh my God, they were bad. They were seriously bad. But yeah, if nothing else, it would be an experience in, because I teach people to speak. That's my job. I teach speakers all the time, and I do voiceover a lot, and I work on the radio. And if anyone is hesitating to go, just go, really. Okay, that's my marketing for you. Done.
Thank you. That's
thanks,
awesome.
Fergus.
Man,
Hey,
thank you enough, Fergus. That's very sweet.
And Fergus, since you're here and you obviously are about excellence, what would you say in teaching speakers is a point of, like, how would you, what one tip, if you had only that elevator speech to give somebody, would you give them about being a virtuoso speaker?
Okay, very good question, Tara. I'm very happy to answer it. Be yourself. And there's Adam, I think it's Adam King, Adam K, an Australian speaker who ended up on a TV show with the Dalai Lama.
Wow.
Which was quite awkward because the Dalai Lama didn't actually understand all the jokes or any of the presentation stuff. And the Dalai Lama stood up and he said, I am not a comedian. I am not a speaker. But what I would say is when you have the microphone, speak your truth. Oh my God, speak your truth.
That's great.
If we could just get everyone to do that, it would be a better industry.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well,
so would every industry if people would bring themselves and their own truth to it. It's not just about speaking. I mean, Fergus is dead on.
Yeah.
But if you bring that to sales, people will believe you. I have a friend, for instance, one of the principles that I will teach, Bill Bacharach teaches that it's not about selling, prospecting, presenting, and closing. It's about building trust. When someone you trust says do this, you're much more likely to do it than when someone who you think is trying to sell you something does it. So why aren't we, instead of selling, why aren't we building trust? And so that's what Fergus is exactly what he's saying. When people believe that you're being honest and you're being sincere and you're being your authentic self on stage, they're going to believe you. Okay, it's a world-class principle that he's sharing.
Yeah, and that's with absolutely anything. You know, I run in the health world, and you have all these people who are trying to help people get better. But if it's just about selling them something, it's not gonna work. You know, it just isn't. People see right through that. They don't see the authenticity. And I want to make that real clear in what we're doing here. You know, we've got a lot of folks that are joining us here in the comment section. Yes, we are selling something, but we are really truly providing a service. And believe me, these events, as Darren puts these events on all the time, as he knows, more blood, sweat, and tears and just heart go into it than you can ever imagine. And I'm really excited about us doing that. What you got?
I was just going to say, along those lines, it's not wrong to sell something. That's not, I mean, or to trust. I mean, I will not charge for another program as soon as the supermarket gives me free food, the gas station gives me free gas, and my house is free, and my food is free, everything, right? Okay, it's not wrong. It's what's wrong is to gouge or to try to misrepresent something. So
manipulate.
Is in an effort to not misrepresent. It's to say, hey, here's what it's going to be. Here's who we are. Here's what you're going to learn from this, and what you're going to take from it. And so it is proper to share that and to charge something for it, to charge a fair fee for it. Because if not, then you don't have any skin in the game. Okay, you don't have any. You've not. I mean, when I feel like I get more out of something when I've paid for it than if I just think it's free and it's not gonna. Because it's free, people don't value it.
Yeah. That happens all the time here in Las Vegas. A lot of the meetup groups I'm involved with, you know, if you don't charge for an event, people will RSVP and just not show up. They just think, well, it can't be that, it can't be worthwhile. And that's difficult when you've got health speakers that are really, truly, they have all the heart in the world and they're trying to get that information out there. But if there is a cost to it, then that's a whole different ball game, most definitely.
Hey, by the way, Fergus, if you could shoot me an email with your website and info. I have a lot of speakers that ask me about voice all the time, and I have no idea who to send them to. So just shoot me an email.
I don't mind that.
I'll put you on my resource page because I believe you.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah.
And it's just Darren@DarrenLaCroix.com.
And Darren, go ahead and write that in the comment section too, so people have it, because we're recording this and it will also have the comment. Listen, Michael Hepner wants to join us. So Fergus, I so appreciate you jumping in the sea. And I hope we get to do more of these with you. And definitely, folks, check him out. More Blab etiquette. When you see like above me right here, you can see my name, my Twitter name. You can click that on Fergus, on any of the people here, the people in the chat room. What's that? Your connection's getting low. Somebody might be online, Michael. But anyway, I'm going to very nicely and gently thank you again, Fergus. And I'm going to. It's referred to as kicking somebody. Don't take offense to it. But I'm going to kick you, and I hope you join us again for these. I absolutely love doing Blab, so I'm going to go ahead and kick you, and I hope you stay with us. We've got to close in just a few minutes, and Michael Hepner's going to join us. Take care, Fergus. Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, all right. We lost Michael, but that happens, and that's with Blab. It's really interesting because I've got two hosts that I do a show with every week. And if they're in the same location, it sometimes messes with the bandwidth. So things just happen. It's live. It looks like he can possibly hear us because I know he was just tapping on that, but he'll come back in. Darren, you turned.
I moved up.
Okay. Michael Hepner's in. You did?
Oh, I'm downgraded again.
Well, Michael's coming in, and then Michael Hepner, and then hopefully Mike Rayburn can come back in as well. So Michael Hepner, I'm waiting for you.
Oh, there we are.
There you are. Hey, this is a good friend of ours and awesome keyboardist.
World-class piano player, man. This guy's Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
How are you guys? Good to see you all. How are you? I wasn't expecting to be asked to be on. I didn't know what you wanted, but I felt like I needed to just jump in and say I have not had a chance to hear you, Darren, but after having met you and looked on YouTube and some of the places I found you amazing. And the same with you, Mike. Absolutely have been inspirational, and I'm stealing everything I can from YouTube. And
Michael and I have played together many times at Verve as part of the band, and it's always a breath of fresh air. It's like we can talk the same language. We speak like music on an advanced level, and not everyone is always in that place. So it's a pleasure to have him. It's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, it's going to be great.
It's awesome. Well, it's a pleasure to serve him, and I'm glad that you're being open about sharing about God, but understanding, and I really want people to know that I do know it's always shared in a way that, look, this is what works for us, but the principles work, and but I'm glad that we're not holding back from talking about the faith. I'm not at these guys' levels. For anybody that's listening in, I've had the honor of being on the stage with Zig Ziglar, Norman Vincent Peale, with Dennis Waitley, with all these other great people. I was just the opening act, making very little money, and just being honored to be around them. But I know that without a doubt that the one thing I learned is that you are never done learning. And what I'm really excited about what you guys are doing is the fact that you're actually going to give people a plan, that it's not going to just be, okay, go out. Now you know, now you believe, now you're motivated. Well, great, but what do I do with that? That you're actually going to give them, help them with their plan. They're actually going to know what it is that they need to do. You know what, everybody? We all have our dreams. We all have our goals. I'm 57. I'm going to be 58 in November. I haven't given up on those. Age is no excuse. I think it was Prime Minister of Israel. I forget her name, but I think she became Prime Minister at 80 years old. And I've just seen tremendous things. That means we're just getting started at this age. And I can't wait, but I just wanted to let everybody know that this is going to be worth it. And I would highly recommend that whatever it is that you're doing with your time, there is nothing more you could do better than to be around these guys. Because what if the one thing they say puts your dreams in motion and changes literally not just the rest of your life, but all the people that your talent, your passion, you're going to use, your business, whatever you're using it for, those people, the millions of lives or hundreds or thousands of lives you're going to touch and how many they touch. Yep. And it just goes on and on. So thank you for doing it. I just wanted to say it's very exciting.
Thanks.
That's cool. Michael, since we've got you on here and you are such an awesome musician, what one virtuoso habit would you say has made the biggest difference in your level of ability? You're great at what you do. And what would be the one habit that you would say you've practiced to become a virtuoso? And don't say you're not, because you are.
Okay. Well, I know he's a virtuoso, no doubt.
Well, I think one of the things is maybe a combination of two things that comes to mind. One is always having a mentor, always having somebody around me that's better than I am. Whether it was through YouTube or going to live concerts or hanging around those other virtuosos, the other keyboard players. I can't tell you how many times throughout my, I think 40 years of playing professionally now, how many times I sat there, what did you just play there? What? No, show me how you did that. Or how I would slow down, find a way to slow down videos or audio to figure out things. And what I like about what you're doing, this isn't just to throw it at them, like you said, and sell them. This is going to be something you're going to take the time with them to do. Yeah. And because of that, they're going to feel it's more personalized. But what I do is I copy a lot of really good people. And the other thing you've already said, which is I've really learned to be myself and to be honest. This probably didn't happen for me till probably the last 15, 20 years where I was comfortable enough with myself. Like most people, I've been through a lot of hurt, a lot of pain. And without going into details with that, it makes you sometimes put a mask on. And you're afraid to just be yourself because you're worried about what other people think. And the bottom line is you should never worry about what other people think if it changes who you're trying to be. You need to be yourself and believe that God made you with special talents, special passions, and you're supposed to use those to change lives and help other people. And so that's what I've tried to do with my music, the speaking that I do and whatnot. So
that's great, man.
Awesome.
And you know what you said there is so right. And that's one of the things that you said better than I did. Much better. For Virtuoso, we're all born with certain gifts, talents, passions, abilities. And many of us are working in a field simply because it made money or it was available or whatever. And it's not what our passion is. And so I'm not saying to drop everything and be crazy. What I'm saying in that, at least not in that respect. But what we want to do is tap into that, because the greatest job security in the world for me, and I've lived since 1982 was the last time I had a real job. And I have made a living with something I absolutely love, and that's the guitar in my hand in some way or another. And the way I've done that is I've realized that the greatest job security in the world is to do something that I love, because I'm always going to find a way to do it. And whereas if it's not something that I love, then it's easy to kind of fall by the wayside, because there's part of me that doesn't want to be there in the first place. And there are certain ways to balance that with other concerns in our life. For instance, it is a valid thing for certain artists to have a career. It might not be their passion, but it's something they like that makes the money, but allows them to do their art without having it compromised by making a dollar bill. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so that's another virtuoso possibility. Charles Ives, the first great American composer, was a millionaire insurance person who happened to compose in this garage behind his shed behind his house.
Nice.
What he did was, because he didn't have to make money with it, everyone thought what he was composing was nuts until the end of his life, when they realized, oh, he's 20 years ahead of us. And he was, but he was that because he didn't have to make a living. So anyway, it's not that those are both valid ways of going about things. But Michael said it great, so well. Tap into what God put in you to do. Tap into something that's larger than just making a living and getting by. That we're in this life to really seize the day. You know, you could tell I kind of passionately.
It's coming through.
That's where.
Building on that, this summer at the NSA convention, we heard Chef Jeff, and he's actually here local in Vegas. I've never met him. I haven't met him yet. But he talked about, he said, don't follow just what you're passionate at. He said, follow your gifts and become passionate about your gifts. I'm really passionate about certain things, and I'm really lousy at turning those things into, I would not be good at them as a living, trying to make money. Right. But if I combine my gifts and my passion, it's not just about money. It's that higher thing that we're going for. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing I want to be clear here. We're talking about careers. We're talking about music. We're talking about all kinds of great things. But being a mom, being a dad, being a friend, being a human, just being is really vital in this world. We have, this go, go, go. You have to do. And sometimes, you have to hang up, a title or a role, or dive into something so simple as listening. A bunch of us moms were sitting around talking last night at Verve, and we were saying how our kids are catching us not listening to them. We complain that they don't listen to us, and my son will look at me and go, "You didn't hear a word I just said, did you, Mom?" I'm like, "You're right. I didn't. I'm sorry." But I want to make it clear, something like what we're doing here in Vegas, Virtuoso You is about being the best mom, about being. All the other stuff is great.
What matters? It's exactly what becoming master of the things that matter in life. And you were talking about the whole. You made a great point, Tara, when you were talking about the balance of what you're passionate about and what you're gifted at. I always use the example. I am gifted at math, and I hate math, so it would not be a good idea for me to go into that. I am passionate about endurance sports. Running, cycling, that kind of thing. I'm also flat-footed, which is God's way of saying learn what you can, but this is not true. So in the meantime, I found something with music and exhortation, which is lifting people up, sharing these kind of tools, and comedy. Those are my gifts and my passions. And so I've been able to feel really good about the things I do in life because I found those. So what we want to do at Virtuoso is optimize that. Find those things that are what you are passionate about and you're gifted at. Mm-hmm. That's where you need to be moving.
That's a sweet spot. That's a sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
There's things on each
well said.
But find that combination. And one other way to say this, that's a quote from my mentor and friend Dan Burris, who's most amazing mind I've ever met. Dan says, find your passion and wrap your career around it. Don't just get a job. Find a passion and wrap your career around it. Cool way to say it.
Very cool. Yeah.
All right. So we are at our 2-minute warning. What was going to be initially a 30-minute has turned into an hour, which happens on Blab. Can you guys see why I love this so much? You can really just kind of Blab at it. And Mike, Michael Hepner, the first time I went on, I was just watching, and these ladies were talking about education, and I ended up being a guest on there in a 30-minute conversation about education. It was awesome. And I've made some friends that now we've connected. It's pretty cool. We're going to wind up, and just a little more Blab etiquette. For those of you that we've had a lot of folks just come on, we've recorded this session. So follow us. You can go up to our little profiles here, and you can follow each of us on my profile. Actually, all of us will have the link for the replay of this, and it'll have the comments and everything. You just won't be able to give us the high five props, but it's very cool. So on a closing note, we have a minute. I'm going to one by one after Michael gives our closing comment. I will be kicking each guest off. That sounds so bad, but and then we'll wrap up, and then we'll post the link later so you can hear the whole thing. And I'm hoping that we do these more often because I think they're really cool, and sharing virtuoso tips like Mike does. And anyway, I should think this is a great format. So on that note, Michael, wind us up.
Okay, Virtuoso You. It's about you becoming a virtuoso at the things that matter in life. Become a master of the things that matter. So join us November 6th and 7th at the Westin Lake, Las Vegas. And there is a huge discount it ends up being with the room discount and everything, it ends up becoming a 50% discount if you enroll before October 5th. Midnight October 5th. So please take advantage of that. It's going to be an awesome program. Countless people have benefited from it, and we look forward to serving you.
Awesome. And on that note, happy Friday, everybody. And if you're watching this on another day, happy Friday anyway, because it's a mindset. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. And I thank you, everybody, for your time here. And I hope, I really, truly hope that you got something of value from this time together, because my whole thing is I want social media not to be just social, body, and soul. So y'all be good. Have a great weekend. And we hope to see you in Lake Las Vegas in November. It's not upside down this time, see? All right. See you guys.
Thanks, Tara. Thanks, Mike. We'll see you guys soon.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Make the decision. Be a virtuoso.
That's it. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Signing off. Happy Friday.